Yeah, I'm going to do it this way, Nancy. Sure. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to be, am I supposed to be wired or no? Just use this.
Stay as close as you can.
Sure. Well, good morning. Let me get organized here. Okay. I think I have it all. Oh, wow. Now you got to be careful there, Roger. You know, you come up here quite a bit yourself. So the power this month is power. And the focus is the power and community. And I was amazed at just sitting here in the beginning of our service today, feeling the power of our focuses, the power of each other, the power of the love before the service started, the power of listening to Janine play before the service, the parts of my being and our beings that are moved and touched when Jeff came up and sang for us, and the kind of music that he picks, the power of the words. I mean, these are power. They resonate. They resonate our hearts. They resonate the love. And as you know, it can be so difficult to try to connect to love. So often we can end up feeling that we are separate from love. And yet, coming into a group like this that is committed to working with the love and working with the heart, which is not always easy, as you know, we end up having this experience of power and of love that is such a gift. And I've noticed in the few places I've got to travel that it's a gift that not very many people have. Not many people have access to the kind of community, the kind of relationship, the kind of love that we get to have on a fairly consistent basis by this community and also the larger community that we live within. We have a granddaughter, the youngest one is 12 years old, and Audrey was helping her a couple of weeks ago, and so she said, well, what are you studying in school? What did you learn? And Bella got all excited. She says, well, I learned about Hinduism and Buddhism. And I thought, man, I wish the Dalai Lama, I hope he heard that one. I hope he heard that, because I know he would enjoy that. You know, the love and the enthusiasm of our innocence, of our love. Sometimes if we're fortunate, we can access that a little more easily as a child, but that isn't everybody's journey, as you know. So today we have congregational meeting, and most of you have been to one, but if you haven't, I encourage you to experience it. It's quite painful. We've learned over the years how to make it fairly efficient and to the point. But it also allows you an opportunity to feel what this community is about, and all the different kinds of needs that are here, and all the different ways that each of you serve and can serve. Now, I remember the first congregational meeting I went to, it was 40 years ago. And I'd only been here for about 3 weeks. And I'm in the congregational meeting, and they said, well, who wants to be on the board? And so this strange guy raises his hand, who's hardly ever been there, said, I want to be on the board. And I know people are going, who is he and what does he think he's doing? You know, and but just in that 3 weeks, from what I was feeling, from what I was hearing. I knew that I wanted to be on the board. I wanted to learn how to take those ideas and to incorporate them into my life. For some reason, I came not so interested in philosophy, but the application of philosophy in this life. And so I wanted to find out how to live these things, these exciting things that I was hearing. Now, I've been on a spiritual path for a long time, and I had a practice of my own, but still some of the things I heard here were different. They were insightful. And again, I was really drawn to the idea of practicalness. And that's a tremendous power that we have here, because what we read and what we think about has very little use until it starts to serve us, and until it starts to change us. The 3 weeks before that congregational meeting, I came to Unity for the first time, and it was a different facility. It was, a fairly small facility. Probably had been an old, kind of a more of a fundamental type of church here in Missoula at one time. But when I walked in, when I stood in the doorway, I remember this very vividly. I could see everybody was sitting there, and I could see the love. I could see the energy. I could see the light wrapping around the entire room and the people within it. And I've been guided to come here to check it out because I've been asked to go deeper in my understanding of serving. And that suggested I find a community. This happened while I was in India for 3 months. And so I end up getting led to the door here, and I was just so touched by what I saw. Now, that's always here. I don't always necessarily see that same experience when I come to the door, but oftentimes when I get to come up here and talk, I do see it, I do feel it, I do know it. So it's always here, like that song, weave us together in unity and love. That's always happening. Some Sundays over this 40 years, I haven't necessarily felt like coming. There's some times where I've maybe felt like an emotional wreck, and I felt, I don't want to go there like this. I don't want to go there all messed up. But something would encourage me to go anyway. Or maybe it's, I don't want to particularly hear that talk, that speaker. But it would say, no, go. And what has really been fascinating, I had no idea, but especially those times when I was in tremendous pain, when I was struggling with whatever I was working with at that time, I would come here, and it wasn't about what was said, but I could feel my whole being. I could feel like my whole molecular structure would be changing, and the energy of that love I saw when I first came. There's a power that is always here, whether I'm aware of it or not. But every time I've come under those circumstances of resistance, but I've opened myself, I have felt myself be changed. Whatever I was struggling with evaporated. I switched. Whatever happened, I was transmuted into whatever it was that I was reaching for. I have no idea how to do that. In our healing, we don't know how to do it because we're healing an illusion. We're healing an illusion that we are separate from each other, separate from love, separate from our needs, separate from God. I was really quite surprised when Evie, the daily word today, the source was from John. I never heard this before. The one within you is greater than the one in the world. And that's really the basic thing. I was so surprised by that because that was really the essence of what I wanted to touch upon today. That was the one thing I felt like I want to have that come across to all of us and to myself. I'm here talking to myself, you know, and this is part of my journey, the working with these ideas within and opening myself to you while I'm doing that, opening myself to you before I come, asking to be able to be in my oneness with you so that you are guiding this process so that I can serve you and serve myself. Because one of those illusions is the idea that you and I are not in the one, that we aren't one, that we aren't a part of each other. A few weeks back, one of our speakers was Dan Comstock. And Dan is a person that he's involved with attitudinal healing for many, many years. And he kind of has always felt a part of this community. So he comes and he speaks here occasionally. And one of the things he brought up was rainbow. And so I couldn't quite remember much about rainbows, how they work. And I still don't understand how they work. And yet that doesn't prevent me from being able to see some of a rainbow, nor does it prevent me from accepting rainbows. I really don't need to understand all their workings to be able to at least do those things. And so when I asked about rainbows, it said, because I thought I remembered something about all the colors being in one. And that's what it said, colors of light. And the white light is a spectrum or a vibration of all the colors that we see. But also on the ends of those colors that we see, there is more, isn't there? There is more vibrations that we are not able to see, that this instrument is not capable. We've developed instruments that can see some of it. So we call it infrared and ultraviolet, okay? And yet we accept that. We accept that which we can't see. And that's why the mystics come here. They know we can't see. They know that we can't see that the greatest part of us is the one that is within us, the greatest part of us. They know that, but we don't. And this is why we come here. We come to Unity to help us become each Sunday a little bit more mindful of our truth, of who we are, that we are love and that we are loved. And it takes every Sunday. It really takes every day. It takes every moment of mindfulness. Because at every moment, I have to make a choice. Like in Jeff's song about making that choice of love. Every moment, I have an opportunity to make that choice. Because when I'm with you, you appear to be different than me. You appear to be in a body that looks different than mine a little bit. And so I perceive us as being separate. And so it takes work. It takes mindfulness. It takes diligence to keep realizing that I need to make a different choice. And the second tenet in unity, and I'm going to read, ours says that our essence, I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and everyone. Now there's there's different forms of our 7 or 5 focuses. Another one is there is a divine spark of God in each of us that we call the Christ light. This is the part that's greater. This is the part that we can't necessarily see, but you feel it. You listen to it because you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be drawn to love if you weren't connected, because that core of who we are is love. We've been told that that core is love. We've been told that by the mystics and Unity also. For whatever reason, I'm so amazed that the Fillmores, the things that they kind of grabbed onto that they were being exposed to back in the late 1800s. But they were drawn to the essence. The main one was that there is one power. That's our whole focus. Everything comes out of that. Out of that one power is that you and I are a spark of that power. And it's real easy for communities to start getting off on other gods, on other focuses. It's very difficult to keep the focus that there's only one. That's the core of everything. That's the core of my relationship with you. When it's said that that spark is in each of us, there's nobody left out. Even some of the grossest beings that we have on this planet, this is their truth. So how do I work with that? What is that about? The closest thing I can come up with, and a lot of the more mystical traditions talk about this. They say there's only one. All there is God. All there is that spark. That's the great part of us. But it's like a play. You watch a play and an actor or an actress is playing inside that character that you're watching. And it may be a pretty grotesque character they're playing. But with effort, we can realize eventually that, no, that actor is not the character they're playing. It's hard. Some of them play it so well, you know. It's like I think, oh my God, I wouldn't want to be an actor playing that role. Everybody would think I was that way. I mean, one time I posed for a friend who was creating an ad, and it was about domestic violence. And they used my picture, and somebody came up and she said, you know, I've been really kind of mad at you, you know, because, you know, with that poster and you being involved in domestic violence. And I said, well, I just posed for the picture, you know, and I said, it wasn't about me. So it's like, oh boy. So it's an actor. Inside of every body, there's a spark of God. It's just the actor. So when we forgive, we're not forgiving what that play is talking about, this play of this world. We're not necessarily forgiving, but we realize it's not real. We forgive it because it's not real. It's just a play. We forgive the play, and that we know that there's a spark inside, and that spark is me. That spark is part of the same oneness that is you. And so our opportunity is to hold the truth for each other. In any situation, whether we're sick, whether we are experiencing tremendous pain, whatever it is, we can hold each other in the truth. I can hold you in your wholeness in one, your wholeness in God, your wholeness in love. I can let go, because if there's only one, and if you're a spark of the one, there can't be this world. That means there's two. So that's why they say that this is not real, that this is an illusion, that it's called Maya, or it's a play. That's what they're getting at. I don't understand the rainbow. I don't know how it all works. I don't have to understand all this. but we feel it. We wouldn't be here. We're drawn to love because of who you are. The choice I have in each moment is to choose the one, not the body, not this illusion, not the play. But I can go, okay, I don't know how to see you. I don't know how to see this person. I want to see. I don't want to be right. I'm willing to let go of being right. I have to let go of being special because it just keeps me in pain. It keeps me in separation, keeps me in lack. Yes, the world worships that. Yes, everybody's taking selfies, but there's a deeper place. So when I want to see it differently, when I'm willing to let go of my attachment to this, and I say, help me see our truth. Help me see the oneness in you. Help me see the light in you. Help me see our truth. When I want that, then the oneness is there. It's always here. It's who we are. And that greater part of us gives us the ability to see in that moment, or to feel in that moment, or to have the energy suddenly change. That's what happens when I would come, when I'd be distraught. Because I was open to change, I was able then, I gave permission to have myself be changed in the energy of your love. It needs our permission. It never forces. So I'm going to finish up with something I've shared before. It comes from a mystic from the Islam background many centuries ago. But he says, and you've heard this because I've shared it, out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, out beyond this world of that I have to evaluate, that I have to judge and get caught into the fact of this play, making this play real. The play isn't real. The one within you is greater than the one in the world. So I have to choose that. And when I'm willing to do that over and over again, when I keep practicing being mindful in each more and more moments of my life, then Rumi says, I will meet you there. When the soul lies down in the grass, the world is too full to talk about it. But basically, there's something out beyond right and wrong. And that's where our oneness is. That's where our truth is. That's who we are. We are a part of that one. And that's what we're here to celebrate and to give thanks for and to thank all of you. Amen. So I remembered I'm going to do a meditation. And thank you very much. It's incredible. I mean, it's horrible trying the process of before getting up here. I have to be honest. But I understand it once I'm here. And it's definitely worth it being here with you and supporting each other. So I guess I'm tethered to this microphone. Oh, that's okay. I can do it. Yeah, I can do it from here. I can even do it on one foot. Watch. Okay. Thank you for your love. And so let's just take a moment to breathe, to feel, and to gently let go. To know that in the oneness of who we are being woven in unity and love. And I'm going to invite into this moment all your families, every member of your families, all your friends, all those who have been challenges in this lifetime. I'm going to just invite them all in to this moment, as well as the love of the universe. And we're just going to open ourselves to our truth, to the connectedness that's so much greater than what we see. We just relax and allow ourselves to be loved. Allow all the beings that we have invited in. We can invite the entire planet. We can invite those who are in struggles in other parts of this world. No matter what their roles are in those dramas, we can hold all of them in their truth, not in the roles that they're playing. This is not their truth. We've played all those roles. We are the spark. We are the oneness. We are the Christ. We are the child of what we call God. We are the child of that oneness. And no spark has ever been forgotten. No spark has ever been judged. We play these roles for they serve our journey. But now we hold all of them. We invite all of them to leave that drama. And in this moment, just be here and celebrate our freedom. That as spirit, we are eternal. As spirit, we are infinite. As spirit, there is no comprehension of the truth of our power, the power of our oneness, our light, our love. And so we breathe and we relax, and we're reminded that in any moment, maybe as before I start the car, before I go to sleep, before I eat, before I move into an uncomfortable situation, I can stop, I can breathe, I can let go and relax, knowing that there is only that divine oneness holding me, holding the situation. I can let it go and allow that oneness, our truth, to be our source, to show us how to experience the peace and the power and the light and the love that is our truth. And so we give thanks again and give thanks for each of you playing your roles, but being the light. Thank you and amen.